Hello student. Today we are going to cover the part number 9 of lesson 5, the principle of inheritance. Today's topic is chromosomal theory of inheritance. I think all of you are very healthy and happy right now. So I hope for a better learning. First of all, the topic that is given over here is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Mendel didn't able to prove his theory. Mendel has given his theory in mid of the 1800, means about 1850 and 60 like that. So due to absence of necessary equipment, laboratory instrument, etc., and due to absence of research of different kinds of you can say the structures of the cell, Mendel could not be able to prove all his laws, all his principles that he has given. So, in 1902, Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri separately, both of them have researched separately in their own laboratory, noted that behavior of chromosome are parallel to the behavior of genes. Means they note that the genes that is called as factor, the genes that are called as factor by Mendel is as equal or as parallel to as chromosome. So all the theory that has been given by Mendel has been proved in term of chromosome by Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. So this theory of inheritance in terms of chromosome is called chromosomal theory of inheritance. Actually, in your book, the chromosomal theory of inheritance has been given in such a way that it cannot be explained very well. Means it will create some confusion among the brains of the students. So I made it so easy so that you can easily understand it. Once again I am repeating, Mendel has not proved all the theory of inheritance that is given by him due to absence of necessary equipments, laboratory instrument and different types of discovery. But after 50 years, about in 1902, Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri separately proved that all those factors which has been told by Mendel are actually the genes and they are present inside the chromosome, and the principle that has been given by Mendel has been proved in terms of chromosome. Means same way the factor affect a particular kind of inheritance will affected by chromosome. So this has been proved by Sutton and Boveri. Let's see the next what is given over here. Sutton and Boveri in 1902, after the discovery of chromosome, tried to prove all the principle of inheritance in terms of chromosome, and this is called chromosomal theory of inheritance. Sutton united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation. Sutton didn't do any more thing, just he discovered all those principles but on the basis of chromosome. Understood? So Mendelian principle has been proved by him on the basis of chromosomal segregation, and this theory is called chromosomal theory of inheritance. Sutton and Boveri, both of them proved all the Mendelian principle on the basis of chromosome. So they told that chromosome is the barrier of the genes or the factors, and all the principles that are depend on the inheritance of the factor is nothing but as same as the inheritance of chromosomes. So the chromosomes are responsible for inheritance of all character because they bears the factor in form of genes. I think you understand. Next, now I have given 3 points because this point is not given. I have compared the Mendel's theory with respect to Sutton and Weberi so that you can understand and compare both of them. Understood? Let's study. According to Mendel, there are certain factors which help to transfer the characteristics from parents to offspring, and these factors are present in pair. What did Mendel tell? Did Mendel tell that the factors are responsible for carrying the character from parents to offspring, and these factors present in pair. Later it has been found that the factor that has been told by Mendel is actually the genes, and genes are present in pair, and the pair of gene is called allele. The pair of gene is called allele. It has been discovered later. Boveri and then what did the Boveri and Sutton try to explain? Boveri and Sutton said that the chromosome as well as the gene both occur in pair, as same as told by Mendel that factors are present in pair. They told that the chromosome also present in pair, and on the chromosome the genes are present. So genes are also present in form of pair, and the genes present inside the nucleus. The chromosome present in the chromosome present in the nucleus, and the genes present inside the chromosome. So they further added that the allele and allele of a gene pair are located on the same locus of homologous chromosome. So what is homologous chromosome? Homologous chromosome is a pair of chromosome, one from each parent. A pair of chromosome. Suppose we have 23 pair of chromosome. I have taken the chromosome number 1. So the chromosome number 1 has one pair, and this chromosome number 1 has several genes. The line that I drawn vertically is the horizontally is the genes. So the genes present here in pair. Suppose this is a pair of a genes. So this pair is called allele. Similarly, here you can get the allele. So there are a pair of allele in homologous. So this is called homologous pair. What is homologous pair? The chromosome is a homologous pair. Let's study. Sutton and Boveri said that chromosomes are as well as genes both occur in pair, which further present inside the nucleus. Chromosome present inside the nucleus, and they further added that an allele of a gene. Allele means what I told. Chromosome, the pair of a same kind of gene. The pair of a same kind of gene in homologous chromosome. This is a homologous chromosome. This is the homologous chromosome, and this is a pair of genes. Allele. They further added that the allele of a gene pair are located on the same locus. Locus means place. Locus means place on homologous chromosome. Same locus, same place. See, it is the same place. When both the chromosomes stand just beside one another, at the same position, same kind of genes are present. So the pair of gene is called allele. I think understood? Later. Now it comes the second number point. According to Mendel, the pairs of factors separate during the gamete formation. It is called the law of segregation. What is called the law of segregation? During the law of segregation, the pair of factor segregate, yes, and go separately into the two different gametes. It is a pair of factor goes to the two different gametes. See, Boveri also told the same. Boveri argued that the same but in term of chromosome present in pair, and each pair contain pair of genes called allele or factors, and chromosome separate during gamete formation. Chromosome separates during gamete formation. Just I am showing you the figure. Suppose these are the two chromosomes, okay, that is present inside the body cell. During gamete formation, one chromosome will come in one gamete and another chromosome will go on the another gamete. So chromosome also separate as same as the you have seen the factor separate. Understood? And this thing has been explained over here with the help of meiosis cell division. You can see during the course of meiosis cell division, a chromosome or cell, this is a cell, have two pairs of chromosome. You can say one pair and two pair. The two pair of chromosome make its own copy during G2 phase. During meiosis 1 and in the course of meiosis 1, anaphase 1, this pair goes to one cell and the another pair goes to another cell, and in meiosis 2 these two get separated. You can see there are two chromatid over here. So the chromatid gets separated and each chromatid go to the separately into two gametes. These are the gametes, isn't it? So during gamete formation, the pair of chromosome also separated as same as the factors separated. That is told by Mendel during law of segregation. Yes, that is good. I think understood. The same thing has been explained over here. Just see. Yeah, during meiosis 1, you can see there is a pair of chromosome, two pair of chromosome, and the two pair of chromosome segregate separately during gamete formation, as same as earlier photo. And the same thing happen over here. But one more important thing that you must remember, that the pair of chromosome, you have to see the color of the chromosome. Here the pair of chromosome has, you can see orange is with the green and yellow is with the red. So the gamete contain orange and green separately and yellow and red. Now come to the another photo. Here the pair has been changed over here. Now orange and red over here, and you can say yellow and green. Now the gamete formation also. So segregation is, now it is the law of segregation. Segregation is as same as the law of segregation given by Mendel, but it is also important to understand the law of independent assortment. It has been told that the gametes or the factors separate, assort accord independently to the other. Suppose there are two pair of chromosomes. Just I am drawing it. There are two pair of chromosomes. This is a pair of chromosome AA and this is a pair of chromosome BB. So the gamete A and the gamete small a and the gamete B and the gamete small b, sorry, this is a small b. So this A will go with, assort with this capital B or either with this small b is dependent on the nature. Similarly, this small a will assort with capital B or this small a will assort with this small b is independent on nature. So the third law that is given by Mendel, that is the law of independent assortment, is also proved in terms of chromosome, that the pair of chromosome which contain a particular kind of pair will assort independently, not dependent on any factor or principle independently. Understood? So let's study the third number law. According to Mendel, when there is two pair of contrasting character, the distribution of a member of one pair into the gamete is independent to the distribution of other pair. It is called the principle of independent assortment. This law has already been studied by you. The same law has been proved by Sutton and Boveri. They also said that the two pair of chromosomes assort independently as same as the factor that was given in the principle of independent assortment. So Sutton and Boveri also said that the chromosome separate independently. The chromosome separated independently assort independently of its own. So the law of independent assortment is also proved over here. I think you understood today's class for that much. Bye bye. If you have any problem, you can ask me.